Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
It's really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show on Hamilton Radio. Everyone out there who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 30 years ago, I was a dumbass. This July, I will be celebrating 30 years of being a smartass. That's right, a smartass. And, you know, I give all the glory to God because if it wasn't for God, I'd be dead today. Okay, so I just have to say that. And this book is full of hope. If anyone out there needs help or their families, get in touch with me. Okay, I'm also a recovery coach. My help to you is free of charge. Okay, if anybody wants my book, it's been revised. This was the first book in 2016, and now this is the revised edition 2020. Archway Publishing, just go to their website, Archway Publishing, put in the title, and you can find my book, my revised book there. It's everywhere, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, and all that, but Archway has the revised edition now. Okay, having said that, guys, I want to introduce my incredible guest co-host who brings me incredible talent on a regular basis. Justin Drummond, say hello to everyone.
Hello, hello. It's great to be back. And such a great intro, as always, Geri. Like, much better than the last one.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited, and we definitely have a great show for you guys today.
So why don't you do the honors? Because you introduced me to this beautiful, talented young lady. Why don't you do the honors?
Yes, absolutely. So the internet always tells me to do incredible things, and it kind of feels like it speaks to me. I mean, our guest that we have today, I actually found through an ad on Facebook, and I did follow this incredible, talented young lady for quite some time now. She's a woman of many talents, and we're definitely gonna get to know a little bit more about her. EMMI DRENNAN, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, when Justin, told me about you and, I heard some of your music, I think you're absolutely an up-and-coming superstar.
Aww.
And, what I didn't know was some of the things that we've talked about. And what I would like to do, which I don't usually do this is your debut radio interview, isn't it?
Debut.
Right here on the Geri Petito Show on Hamilton Radio with Justin Drummond as my guest co-host. This is pretty cool, girl. Okay? And we talked a little bit while we were setting up, and I found some things out about you. And you have a song about addiction, don't you?
Yeah, it's a newer one, but it's coming out.
It's coming out. Would you honor us before we get into this interview with maybe singing just a few lines of it for us? I would love that, EMMI.
Sure. Excuse me, sorry. I can't get control. It's swung on me whole. Why do I fall for this again? I know I should quit, but I can't commit. And now I'm worse than when I began.
It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And it's spot on. Girl.
Thank you. It's called Control. The song.
It's called Control. Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about Can you tell us a little bit about the process of writing that song?
Sure. I started writing music when I was really young, probably 6, according to my mom. And when I was a kid, we didn't have any of the stuff to record things like we do now. So I would just go on the piano and play and sing a song. I would write down the lyrics and then I would just play so many times that it would get stuck in my head so I wouldn't forget it. But nowadays, I'm lucky to have all these things. I use an app on my phone. It's just like a voice recording app to like anytime I get a tune in my head, I always record it because you never know. You don't want to forget it, especially if you listen to something else right after. So I always do that. Even if I'm like falling asleep, I'll get up and record it. And I tend to write the lyrics and the tune simultaneously because that is how I don't know, it's just how my brain works. But being able to get everything phrased with the lyrics and the music, I find it easier to do it that way. There are exceptions when sometimes I'm like, okay, I have this hook or the chorus, and I need to come up with a verse, and I need to think of lyrics. But it comes.
That's really cool. Wait, I have a question about that, Justin.
Sure.
You were that young when you started writing?
Apparently, yeah.
But you were young. I mean, regardless of the exact age, you were under 10 years old.
Yeah, I started playing and studying piano when I was 5, so I just fell in love with it right away.
So you're a singer, songwriter, pianist, pop rocker.
Yeah.
That's
It's a long title.
so cool. That's so cool. So, okay, go ahead, Justin. Take the floor, baby.
All right. Well, thank you so much for making my job so much easier. You actually just answered the question that I came up with. So I guess we'll go into the next one. Okay, so you started music at a really young age. Was it kind of I'm sorry. Was it kind of just a hobby at first, or was it, or is that when you started taking music seriously? Tell us how you started wanting to do this full time.
Yeah, so when I started, I just like I said, I fell in love with it right away, and to me it was a huge creative outlet. And I didn't really, as soon as I learned that people could record in like a recording studio and do this as a job, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's my dream. That is my dream. I mean, but growing up, I did a lot of things, and I did not focus on music as much. I never quit playing the piano. I took lessons all through all my schooling years. And I really am thankful for that, but I honestly didn't decide to do it full time as a career until probably after college. So it's relatively, it's been a long time coming. I've always been writing music, and you know how it is. You sometimes find other jobs and you got to make ends meet, but this is really my dream job.
Yeah. Did you go to college for studying music, or did you have something else in mind, or?
Yeah, when I did not, at the time, I didn't think of music as something that I would be a viable career. I know that sounds weird, but I just was kind of brought up in the whole academia, so I decided to study psychology with the idea of potentially going to grad school and being a therapist. But it just didn't work out that way. I loved studying it. I learned a lot. I think I use it in my music. But I just kind of fell into music. People would hear me perform piano and they would ask for lessons, and I'm just like, well, yeah, why not? And so I started teaching, and that really was what I was doing for a while, which I enjoy. But yeah, I'd ultimately want to be out there, maybe go on tour, do that. The whole thing would be amazing.
Yeah, well, with this interview, you definitely are gonna have some fans that definitely want to come see you. So just keep on doing what you're doing, and you'll eventually get there.
Oh, thank you.
So I have a question. So you give lessons?
Yeah.
So if someone like myself, I cannot sing. Okay, I can't hold a tune. If I said to you, teach me how to sing, could you teach someone like me how to sing?
I could try.
Is it a possibility? Is real? I'm not looking for singing. I'm saying, is it a possibility to teach someone who really doesn't know how to sing? That's really my question.
If you think that you're tone deaf, is that kind of what you're?
Oh no. I'm just me. I just mean, like, do people come to you that really can't sing at all and expect you to get them to sing great?
Well, the main thing is that I don't really teach singing. I mainly just teach piano.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's a good question, but not quite my area.
That's okay. I was just wondering.
No, it's a good question.
Justin, should we play a tune first? Want to play one of her songs?
Yeah, let's play a tune. Like, I'm pretty sure we want to hear what she has to offer.
Ruben, let's play it. Let's play a track. And then we'll talk about that one.
I sent you a message.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay, so before we play this track, I would like everyone to please subscribe. Click and subscribe to the Geri Petito Show, the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. Thank you so much. There you go. Now let's play a track.
Ready.
Thank you, Ruben. You have a beautiful voice, Emmy. You have a beautiful voice. Tell us what that song means to you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so that song is Can't Wait Till You're Gone. I actually wrote it about the idea of something that, like, like say you're in a bad relationship and you know that it's not good for you and you feel like you want to give it up, but you're afraid to. So the whole song is kind of this back and forth, like this struggle of I know that you're lying to me, you're doing things, but you drew me in with your spell kind of thing, and but I know that like you're not good for me, but I can't breathe without you, or it feels like that. Like it feels like I can't go on without you, but really ultimately I can't wait till you're gone because I know that I'll be better off. It's just the fight of accepting that and trusting that you'll be okay. You will be better even though it's scary. I hope that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. That's an amazing. I love the way you just put that. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I've been in similar situations where I mean, I really thought that people were actually really there for me, when in fact, they really weren't. I mean, and I'm kind of really, I mean, and I don't really like want to like make this all about me, but I mean, I am kind of used to it. I mean, I was that kind of person that was always, misunderstood. People really didn't know how to take me, and people just kind of, in my opinion, I mean, I don't really know if it is, but in my opinion, people really like to play with other people's emotions, and it took me a long time to learn that, that this is really like God really like has God really plans everything for a reason, and I feel like I needed to be away from that toxic to just and it took me a long time to accept it, but I mean, like, here we are, like, I'm doing what I love, interviewing some of these amazing guests, and
Yes.
yeah, it really is amazing to know that, like, that there are people out there who really do care.
Yeah.
I want
I
to say something, real quick, and then you'll take the floor, Emmy, because I want this show. We're going to bring some inspiration to you guys out there. This isn't just about her incredible music. This is about an incredible young lady, and Justin as well. Justin, share real quick a little bit about your issue so they understand that, and then we'll get to Emmy. Okay?
Yeah, so for a long time, I was, ever since I could remember, I was diagnosed with a high functioning autism, also known as Asperger's syndrome. And for those of you who don't really understand what that is, expressing yourself can be a little bit challenging, and sometimes I get a little socially awkward. And when I first met Geri, I took like in my opinion, I really thought that I was just going to be booking for her, and Geri immediately said, "No, Justin, absolutely not. You're going to be doing the interviews with me." And okay, yeah, she said that you're going to be doing it with me, and I immediately was like, "Excuse me?" Like, I had absolutely no experience doing any of these interviews, but I gotta say, like, from the first interview that we've done, I mean, I have been getting a huge amount of love for everyone out there listening, and I gotta say, like, it definitely is worth it. I mean, I really love doing this, and I never thought that I would be able to do interviews or co-host like some of the interviews that you do. So it's amazing.
Awesome. It's awesome. So, Emmy, now you speak a little bit. Give some inspiration to everyone out there.
Well, yeah, I wanted to say that I can totally relate to you, Justin, about like feeling misunderstood. I've felt misunderstood a lot in my life, and that can be hard to like I can be a trusting person, and I want to see the good in people, and sometimes that means that I get hurt or people take advantage. But I've learned a lot, and for my own personal struggle, that Um, it's it's that I have a lot of health issues, and basically, I was born critically ill. I'm originally from Colorado. I was born there, and within an hour of my birth, I turned blue because I couldn't breathe, and they didn't know why, but I was put on a ventilator. Eventually, went to Children's Hospital in Denver, and I was in what they call the super spot, which is actually the sickest bed in the hospital for the NICU, meaning that I had round the clock care. And I was hooked up to a bunch of things. I've got a lot of scars on my body from chest tubes and IVs and everything. So I was in the hospital for a total of 3 months. 2 months in, I had to have surgery on my bile duct because I was getting really jaundiced. So it was just like things were not correctly formed in my body, I guess. And I guess one day, like I was on the ventilator, and being on a ventilator, I can't say I remember it, but you have a tube down your throat, and my mom said that I would cry and it would just sound hoarse, and it was probably like not fun. And I know a lot of people nowadays, unfortunately, with COVID, have experienced that, and it's just one day I just, as a baby, just ripped it out. I was just like, I'm done. And the doctors thought, hey, let's see how she does without it. And I had a ton of people praying for me. It's really a miracle that I'm alive. They thought that if I lived, I'd have to be on oxygen my whole life. But as a result of the medications and things that they had to do to save my life, I have a hearing loss. And it's subtle, but we didn't discover it until I was 10. And I started music when I was 5. And I guess I developed kind of like a speech impediment because I couldn't hear. I struggle to hear the difference between like S versus F. So I hear a lot of rhyming words. Sometimes it's funny. But, I ended up going to speech therapy, and it fixed it some. But, some people still notice and say I have a lisp and whatever. I mean, I wasn't going to let that stop me doing music.
Nope.
Beethoven, as most people know, went deaf in his later years, and he's one of my favorite classical composers. So that gives me inspiration personally. And I still deal with like a lot of health issues, like I said, but the music gets me through, like not just my music, but just music in general. And I'm thankful that I can hear at all, because my life without music would be very, very different. And I'm just thankful that I'm alive even.
So I want to say something to both of you. And, I want everyone out there to really understand something here. These two incredible young people are hope. They're hope for you. I don't want anybody out there to ever think they can't do something, because there's nothing you can't do, okay? Look at what happened to her. I mean, at 10, and she said, I don't really care. I'm not going to stop singing, okay? And now look at her today. And Justin never thought he'd be forced to do shows with me. And here he is, and he does incredible co-hosting, incredible, okay? So I don't want anybody out there to ever feel like you've lost hope, okay? Please don't, okay? You can get in touch with me. You can reach out to Justin, man. You can reach out to EMMI. I mean, we'll give you a little bit of hope. I'll slap you silly with it. I'm Italian, you know what I'm saying? So, but really, you guys are incredible, both of you. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you and that slap thing.
That's the Italian thing, baby. So let's play another song, and then we'll talk about it, Em.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Do it, Ruby.
The days drag on, but the sun has set. My hopes are gone, but I can never forget the pain inside that cripples my heart. The tears I cried that tore me apart.
Tell us about that song, Emmy.
Hey, that song is called "See the Light," and it's really about. For me, I wrote it dealing with depression, and I know like when I'm feeling depressed, I I feel like the days are really long. So that's kind of like why it says the days drag on, but the sun has set. Like eventually, time moves forward, and you're struggling with all this pain, but it says, and I can't see the sun right now, but I know I'll make it through somehow. Like even when you can't see the light or the hope, you've got to just keep pushing forward. And it says I'll keep pushing forward till I win the fight, till I see the light. And like sometimes the fight is within yourself, but it's just even when we can't see things getting better, that doesn't mean they won't get better. And sometimes you feel like you're in the night or you're stuck in this darkness, but I think the message is really just push through because sometimes the best thing you can do is just show up, just keep going, and maybe you just made it through the day and that's what all you did. I think that's okay sometimes, and it's better than giving up. There's always a better way than just giving up, and that's kind of what inspired that song. And sometimes when I feel depressed nowadays, like I'll get that in my head. It's kind of like my anthem, like just keep going. I've made it through all this other stuff. I'm gonna keep making it through.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, you sound like, and you're young. You're so young, and you sound like you have so much more experience than a 34-year-old.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too. I mean, like you don't look 34. You look like you're in your 20s right now.
Absolutely.
Well, thank
24. Trust me. That's awesome.
I was gonna say like at least like 27th, like to be the oldest. Like
Be the oldest. Yeah, so funny.
yeah, like
You have another question for her?
uh. Well, first of all, I just want to say like I really am touched with your story, and I really like. I'm pretty sure everyone else is. And it just like kind of like just took me like on a journey through myself, and I was kind of I'm sorry, my dogs, and I was kind of debating on whether or not I should say this, but I really think it's the perfect time to say this right now. I've been there too, like depression, anxiety, and I've had a long, continuous battle, and I'm still to this day with OCD. And it really does it gets me a lot. Like OCD, which transferred to another type of OCD to another one. I won't go full into detail, but I went to this doctor, and like the doctor had absolutely no idea like what type of OCD like that I was going through. And if you want to like, I won't go full into detail like because we're live, but if anyone wants to know what happened with me, like please reach me out privately. But I really thought like this was the end for me. Like I really thought that like no one really understood like what I was going through, and yeah, but like thank God I actually found a therapist and a doctor prescriber who actually knew what I was going through, because I really thought that like I was all alone. Like I really thought that like no one else like had what I was going through.
Oh.
Like yeah, and Emmy, I just want to say like you're definitely gonna help people out there. You're definitely doing a good job.
Thank you.
Doing an amazing job. An amazing job.
And thanks for sharing that too, Justin. I mean, I think that is so common. Like I felt really alone in the past before I realized that it's so common that we all often feel like we're the only one, and we're not the only one. Other people are struggling or in pain and on varying levels, but like that's not really the point. The point is that we're all human and we all do experience certain, emotions, and some of us like have issues that, go far or whatever. I have anxiety too. Like, I get it. It's hard. But I think the more that we talk about it and the more that we're open about it, the more that people can be helped. And I'm thankful that you shared that too.
Mhm.
I want to say something to both of you because it's really something how, like, it's innate in us, human nature. Once we find out that we're not alone, that someone else is dealing with the same things, right there, that puts a little bit of a comfort on us.
Yeah.
I think the biggest struggle when, especially growing up, is you think no one else and you're alone and you're isolated and this is crazy. But it's so important to talk about these things so that the people out there cannot feel alone. So thank you both. So, okay, Justin, take the floor, baby.
Yes. Okay. So I did read your bio a little bit, and it said that you were in some sort of contest, like a piano like competition or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
That was, sorry. Yeah, that was last year. So I am actually a member of the Music Teachers Association of California, which is like an overall organization that builds a curriculum for all instruments really, but they have obviously the piano division, and they have a composers contest every year, and you can submit your piece to be evaluated, and if they like it, then they can submit it to the contest to be judged. So I did this last year, and I had never submitted to the contest before, but I'm really glad I did because I actually got third place, and I was, in the whole state, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, but it's just a solo piano piece, which I have some of those too.
That's cool.
I'm just laughing at the dog.
Yes, me too.
yeah, I do apologize. We had to do something about these dogs. We ended up having to get them shock collars. Yeah, because I know that they can be a little bit of a distraction. So once again, I do apologize.
No worries. And if anyone wants to listen to that song, it's called Crystal Peak, and it is on my YouTube channel. There's like a video of me performing it. So, yeah.
So when you watch yourself perform it, okay, what do you think?
I think of all the things I need to work on.
Why?
Because I'm a perfectionist, so I tend to be like critical of myself, and it's something I'm working on that too. But yeah,
Yeah, so I definitely have to bring that up. I bring something up because one of my favorite quotes ever is from a guest that we've already interviewed by the name of Manny Cabo. And one thing that he always told me was, it's not about being perfect, it's just being passionate. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect. I mean, what is perfect? I mean, what is the definition of perfect?
Right.
Seriously,
Yeah.
What is the definition of perfect?
I mean, no mistakes, but even that, is that perfect? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's impossible.
You don't know.
And the other thing is, we don't care. The listeners don't care. I laugh at that because the majority of entertainers that I interview all say pretty much what you've said. Okay? And I say this to all of them. We just hear, wow, it sounds great. That's it.
I love it.
Yes, wow, it sounds great.
Thank you for saying that. It's kind of interesting because I do have a song about perfectionism because I struggle with it. It's called The Colors, if I don't know.
We have that though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have that. Ruben, could we play that one next? Is that possible? I don't know if he has them in order or not.
Which song again? Oh, sorry, which song?
Is it Colors?
Oh, okay.
The Colors. All right, let's go.
What if I'm just hearing lies? Why must I always be the best? When can I finally rest? I'm caught between these two extremes. Where's the middle ground? I need to know where I can go to find a way around. It's dark or light, black or white. Need to find the colors. Help me find the colors.
Ruben?
Is that the end?
Ruben?
Yeah. Yes,
I know, I
Jerry.
had that thought, so.
We're hearing some crazy weird things on our end.
Oh, that's
I'm
weird.
not
'Cause-
quite sure.
yeah, because I'm
Yeah,
by
what's
myself here at the
happening.
studio. It's just me.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's coming through the audio or something.
Hmm.
I'm
It's
not
probably
sure.
my dog.
That's what we hear. I hope when we play it, we don't hear any of that when it's out there live. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we are hearing something. But Emmy, tell us a little bit about what that song means to you.
Yeah, so kind of like I was saying, I'm definitely anxious, high achieving type person who, you know, I wanna be the best in everything. Like when I was little, I remember like I just, even if it was something that I didn't even care that much about, I would just automatically set out like, okay, I'm gonna do the best that I can, even if it's just some like little art project. And that's just kind of like how I am. And I've learned since then that, you know, A, you can't be perfect, right? B, it's exhausting if you try to be perfect all the time. And C, it's okay that you're not. And that's something that I have to constantly tell myself. You know, when you're a perfectionist, for me, I tend to see things in black and white. And so the idea is that there's all these colors in between. And sometimes everything is binary. It's either this or that, you know? And when we think like that, it can be very confining. And I have to remind myself, like, there's other ways to do things. There's other ways to think. And so it even says, help me find the colors. Like sometimes I need someone to help me see the stuff in between.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
an artist and I love color. So I just love that song. And I'm also a writer and a poet. And one of my poems I see purple skies and all this stuff. Like I really talk about nothing but colors. And a singer took that poem and made it a song for me.
Oh, wow.
You know, pink sky. I see pink skies and purple hues and grassy greens and violet. Yeah, it was really cute. So I'm an artist and I just love anything about color. And to me, music and color saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I get it totally. Justin, what do you think about that song?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually want to follow that up with a question because I was just like kind of thinking back to what you said earlier about your struggles and the fact that you do have a little bit of hearing loss with that. So I mean, is it kind of a little bit hard? Is that why I mean, is that one of the reasons why, I mean, like you always like say like, oh, I gotta be perfect just because I mean, I do have hearing loss. I mean, does that make it a little bit harder for you to do everything musically?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And part of it is how, sometimes how other people would treat me, like, especially as a kid. sometimes people would, well, first of all, I wouldn't always understand what people are saying. And for so long, since we didn't know I had a hearing loss, I just thought I was like dumb, and people would act like I was stupid. And then I remember like when I lived in Colorado, I went to private school, and so when we moved to California, I transferred to public school, and that's actually why they did the hearing test, and that's how I found out. And so I had to leave class to go to speech therapy, and it was just so embarrassing, and everyone would be like, ooh, like, you know, are you in trouble, or what's wrong with you? Are you stupid going to these special classes?
Really?
Yeah, and it just like that was very frustrating to me, and because I actually really like I'm a nerd, so I'm just like, oh, this isn't fair. Like the way I'm being conveyed is not really how I am, and so I think musically, in a way, I think I hear music better than speaking sometimes. And the main issue I've run into with music is when people like piano teachers would try to tell me something while I'm playing, and the conflicting, I'm like, I can't, I'd have to stop and be able to hear what they said. But you know, all my teachers were very encouraging, and they were like, yeah, like just, you know, I don't mind. I understand that you have this, and I'm happy to make that accommodation. I think in general, like as I've gotten older, I've become less ashamed about it, and more, you know, realizing that like I'm not stupid. It's not my fault. Other people might not be understanding, or they get annoyed that they have to repeat things, but you know, that's kind of like their problem, not mine.
It's just crazy to me. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, I'm 60 years old, so I'm a lot older than you, but I remember when I was growing up, we all had all the schools. I mean, I could even tell you the two. I remember the two kids. You know, we only had a couple of kids that had issues back then. Now you have so many, you know. But I remember, like, we used to love them.
Aww.
And we gravitated to them, and you know, we were always worried about, are you okay? Do you want a snack? You know, it was so different, and this is heartbreaking for me, what goes on now.
I think too, because I was a new kid, that it was all just like, you know, people already can make fun of the new kid, and then you had me leaving class, and then I think the worst thing for me is we had to give a performance of like what we had learned. So at the end of speech therapy, I had to like give a speech with a bunch of S's in it, because that's the letter I struggle to hear, and I was just like in front of the whole class, and I found it really embarrassing. But you know, that's just how I perceived it too. I don't know.
But wait, I have a question real quick, and then Justin, you can take the floor. But didn't the other kids also have to do a speech about what they learned?
Only the other kids in the speech therapy.
Yes. So did it?
I mean,
so
we had to do it in front of everyone, like the whole.
No, that I don't agree with. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
All right, let's not get into it. It was ridiculous. That was not okay.
It was not a good, and I felt like the speech therapist was kind of condescending, and she acted like I was stupid or slow, and I'm just like, no, I understand. Sometimes I just don't hear the right word. Like,
crazy. I don't agree with what they did. I agree with, in your speech class, everyone do it for each other. That's it.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
All right, Justin, you want to take the floor?
Yes, because I definitely have a follow-up question like to that as well. When people finally knew what was going on, because I mean, I assured that like I'm assuming that like they were told about what was going on, right? Like they knew they knew. I mean, because they knew eventually like what you were dealing with.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, did like that reaction like change over time, or did you like get the reaction that you were hoping for? Were you taken a little bit more seriously?
I think yes. Part of the thing that helped me was I was just a really good student, and so I would often have the top grade in the class, so people realized that I wasn't stupid. But they also, like, people that were my friends and stuff, they were much more understanding, and but it took some time. And every time, you know, you go to a new school, you have a new situation, you kind of have to start over and say, here's my spiel, people. But
Yeah, I mean, like, I really don't like when people use that word, like, stupid. I mean, like, because, like, I mean, like, I mean, you're really not stupid. Like, I hate, like, I really don't like that word. I mean, I, like, would, like, get, like, called all these things, like things to, like, retarded or, like, weird. I mean, like, I even remember, like, having an interview back with someone by the name of J.C. McCord, like, who, who dealt with kids, like, who, and shout out to JC. Yeah, but, like, he would, like, come across these, like, people who were getting really sick of the word, like, of these words. I mean, and, like, and even, like, when it comes to the word special, I mean, are we special, like, because, like, we really mean it? Or, like, are we special just because, like, we have, like, something going on?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's play another song. Okay, Ruby.
Ruby, is that his new name?
Yeah, today it is.
I don't know how he feels about that, but
I love it.
the days drag on, but the sun has set. My hopes are gone, but I can never forget the pain inside that
Yes, we had a little glitch, guys. We had a little glitch. I mean, tell us what that song means to you.
Oh wow. So this I wrote the song when I was in college. I wrote it as a Valentine's Day present for my boyfriend at that
And the
time.
title?
Oh, what's his name? Come on, say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
The title of the song?
No, I want to know. No, I want to know like who's the boyfriend here.
I said, you leave her alone. The title of the song?
My one and only.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me hold off on the name because
Yes, of course. No.
Oh, good.
So I wrote the song for him and as a present, and then we actually got married, and we were together 11 years, and 3 years ago he cheated on me and we got divorced.
Okay.
So I'm going to be totally honest, I have not heard that song in 3 years because I couldn't get myself to listen to it. And it's funny because I actually wrote it as a ballad, and that version is on YouTube, but my producer was like, let's make it into a pop song. And, you know, at the time I made the album, we were still together. But, yeah, I have a new song coming up on a new album that's also about him, but not so loving. So I kind of knew this would happen, and I was like, well, it's part of the story, right? He really hurt me a lot, and that was really hard. But this song, you know, obviously could be applied to someone else. It's just the origin is about him.
So you wrote another song that's not so nice.
Right.
Can you give us a couple of lines a cappella of that? Is that possible?
Yeah, because I'm sure he's listening, and he definitely needs to hear what a mistake that he has made. No, but cheating is not okay. Not okay at all.
I agree, and I thought he didn't think we were. I mean, divorce was not an option in my book. But you know, he made his choice, and so the new song is called "How Could You." So
how could you? How could you?
How could you hurt me like this when you know what I've been through? How could you break your promise, then blame me for what you couldn't do? You act like you're a king. I gave you everything. You say I didn't try. I think you know that's a lie.
First of all, that's beautiful.
If he is listening right now, shame on you. You miss out on a hell of a good person, and you will regret it.
He's already regretting it, Justin. Trust me. But that song is absolutely beautiful. And you know what? There's not a woman out there, and men, I'm not saying just women, but for the most part, there's probably not many women out there that can't relate. I can relate. I mean, most women can. And a lot of men as well, but
it was really hard because in 2017 I had to have another abdominal surgery because I have chronic pain that they're trying to solve. And I still don't have a diagnosis. It's been over 20 years. But I had surgery that year, and it really limited me. I was in the hospital for a week. It was really hard, you know, big sliced open here. And later that year, not 2 months later, he started cheating. And I didn't know. And I felt that something was off. I kept dreaming about it, but you know, you don't want to believe that. I mean, I married the man. I'm like, no, he's probably just this or that, stressed out, whatever. And that may be true. But at the time when he told me that he wanted a divorce, I didn't know he was cheating. He just said, basically, you haven't been a good enough wife. And then I had other people saying to me, I don't think he's telling you the whole story. So I ended up finding some emails between him and the woman. And then credit card stuff on our credit card he charged. I'm like, okay, you didn't even he didn't even hide it that well, but he thought he did. And I confronted him, and for like a month, I had been like weeping, and the beginning of that song I just sang, it says, the things that made me smile before now just make me cry. Because I would look at our wedding photos around me, and we had built this life that I thought was happy, and it was just devastating. I felt such a loss. And when I confronted him, because I found out the truth, I was a totally different person. I was just like, like, I know that I'm not perfect, and we had gone to couples counseling just because I basically made him go. And I had owned up to things that, weren't great, that weren't perfect, that I did. I mean, I do things that are not great. But he blamed everything on me. It was just, you did this, you did that. And then I find out he's cheating, and it's like, wait, what? Like, nothing gives you the right to cheat. Like, even if I went and cheated on him after that, like, I don't think that would be right. Because I don't think anything gives you that right to cheat. And, as much as I didn't want our marriage to end once I really knew what was going on, then I was happier about ending it. I mean, he had already made his choice, but it was really hard, but I've come a long way since then. I've learned to stand on my own 2 feet. And, we met when I was 20, so pretty young. And, like, I spent my whole 20s with him. So the beginning of your adult life, you're with someone, you're kind of defined by that person. And I learned that, I can be my own person with or without a man, and the same goes for anyone. You don't have to have a partner. Like, I feel like our society enforces that we need to have a partner to make us whole, but we're whole people on our own. And I think that once you learn that, you're going to be better off in a relationship anyway, because, if you know who you are, you can find out what you want and what you don't want. And I think that's ultimately better for everyone involved.
You don't know.
Justin, stop.
Okay.
You stop. I'm going to comment, and then we're done with this topic, Justin.
Let me just calm down.
Calm down and stop. Okay. As a woman, I want to say something, and as an older woman, what you just said was perfectly said for everyone out there listening, because you gave them hope as well. There's a lot of women going through what you went through, and I personally know some right now. And I'm going to share this show with them, because hearing what you just said was so beautiful and so encouraging, girlfriend, that you're going to help a lot of women out there who feel now alone and desperate. They don't have to.
Yeah.
And one more thing, shame on him even more, because you weren't well. Shame on him even more. So let's end that now. And what you said is going to help so many people out there. So thank you for sharing that. Very beautifully said.
Thank you.
So now, why don't you comment on her song only, Justin? Justin?
I'm really trying.
Yes.
Yeah, like a lot of people are going to relate to that. I mean, like there's a lot of people out there that really think that like we really need someone like to love ourselves like a lot. Like, but I mean, like I really think that like we need to spend a lot more time loving ourselves and loving like who we are, because the more you love who you are, the less you're going to need anybody else to.
That was beautifully said, Justin. I'm proud of you. Wow. Okay. Very nice.
I mean, that's just another quote that I got from somebody else. I mean, they're not my own, but I mean.
No, but beautifully said and perfectly needed at this time. You know, I always tell people this. I say, when you look in the mirror, I have something on my wall. Someone gave it to me, and I've made copies of it, and I've given it to hundreds of people. It's called The Man in the Glass. It's a poem, and we don't even know who, there's no name on it. So if you ever Google that, you would love this poem. And it's talking about you looking in the mirror and liking and loving what you see. And until you can do that and walk away smiling that you love what you just saw in the mirror, you haven't arrived yet. And you need to be able to do that for this life, to be happy. So thank you.
Yeah, and I do apologize, Emmy. I mean, like, I am really loving and protective of our guests, and like,
Yes.
no one deserves to be cheated on ever. But I'm just gonna end right there. Like, I'm just trying my best, like, not to.
No, he loves you, Emmy. He loves you. There you go.
Okay, but it's never okay ever. And to hear like what you've been going through, I mean, like everything that you went through. I mean, like.
Okay, Justin. There you go. We get it.
We
get it. We love you, Justin. We get it, honey. So, all right. So now, Ruben, let's play another track.
I think if he could play She's in a Place, that would be a good segue.
Can you play that, Ruben? She's in a Place, and then we have one more after that, right, Em?
Yes.
Okay. She's in a Place, Ruby.
It's when she feels the most alone, trying to beat this on her own. But as the days keep going by, she loses hope, she wonders why. She's still going without knowing how to fly. She feels ashamed, she feels lame for where she's been, for all her sins, for what she's done and she's become.
They loved it too. The puppies loved it too. Yes, beautiful.
Yeah, that song definitely calmed me down.
So tell us about this song.
Yeah, so the reason I thought this would be a good one to play after what we just talked about is it's kind of like, it's about a girl or a woman who basically who hates herself and, wants to look better, like body image issues, just being ashamed. She feels blamed. She's been bruised from being used. So like idea of her being mistreated by other people leads her to mistreat herself because she doesn't think she deserves any better. And like ultimately, like if you go down a path of self-destruction, like it is exactly what it says, like it will destroy your dreams. Her dreams are shattered, the pieces scattered, she's trapped inside. I mean, I know this from like personal experience, and sometimes I find that it can be helpful to write a song that you relate to about like kind of like a fictional character, but it's still like the elements are there.
Mm-hmm.
I personally love story songs, so that was my other inspiration.
I want to say something about what you just said because, singers, artists, songwriters, okay, poets, we all write based on our experiences in life. And I always say this to everyone, and excluding children. I'm not talking about child abuse or animal abuse or elderly abuse. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things that the average person goes through in life that's heart-wrenching and hurtful. And, we go through these experiences and hopefully we can come out a stronger, better person. And sometimes we need to sit down and journal or write, listen to music, songs that we can relate to, because that's what helps everyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care. It helps everyone get through life, right?
Definitely.
So beautiful. Justin, do you want to just say anything about that song?
Yeah, incredibly amazing. Like a good job again. Like the struggle of finding out your perfectionism really doesn't matter. I mean, like I said before, it's not about being perfect, just passionate. Yeah.
Crazy,
So
right?
yeah. So I really gotta know who some of your influences are because I mean it sounds like that you've taken a little bit from everything, a little bit of everything. I just really want to know, who do you really look up to?
Yeah, well, obviously, like I mentioned, I was classically trained, I think, in piano. So in terms of that, like Chopin is probably my favorite composer. I just love Chopin.
Amazing.
I love just that the romantic period of music is just, I don't know, it's just really beautiful. But like I really like Beethoven a lot too, and Mozart. But in terms of current people, my biggest inspiration is Evanescence. They came out when I was in high school, so they were really big then, and like everyone was listening to it, and I was just like, where has this been my whole life? It's piano. She has an amazing voice, and then it's like rock, but I don't know. They put it together so well, and I was so obsessed with their first album. Like I listened to it constantly. And I guess I would say the other big inspiration for me is Avril Lavigne. She's a little more poppy, so you can she still has like kind of the rock in there, definitely the piano, and I think she does a good job of putting different parts together. Like a lot of her songs have several voices going on and maybe even doing different parts. I've always loved that in music in general. So those are probably like my top two.
Yeah.
So Justin, wait, I have to interrupt you, sweetheart. So we've got a few minutes left, technically about 10 more minutes. So why don't we let Emmy tell everyone whatever it is she wants them to tell, she wants to say to all her fans out there, and then I'll give you an opportunity to do the same, and then we'll close with her last song, okay? We'll have you talk about it, and then we'll close with it. All right, go ahead, Em.
Yeah, just to everyone watching, thank you so much, and I really appreciate and love my fans. And I hope to go on tour sometime. People are asking me, when am I going to play here and there? Well, the best thing you can do is share my music, because the more it gets out there, the more, venues will be willing to book me. But that aside, my goal in life is to help other people through my music, and I want to make an impact on even just one life is really meaningful to me. Like, that's what I care the most about. Music has been there for me. Like those people I was just mentioning, like I remember listening to Avril Lavigne and thinking, no one gets me, but Avril gets me. Like I felt less alone, and I want to be that person for someone else, and I want to inspire people and talk about real issues, but then also offer hope, because yes, there's real stuff out there that's hard, but there's hope too. So that would probably be my biggest message.
Give everyone your information again, your website, whatever it is you want to give them.
My website is emmydrennan.com, so it's just my name. And I do have a YouTube channel under the same name, Facebook page, Instagram. It's all under the same name. I do live streams at least every other week, sometimes more often. You can watch them on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested, especially in hearing my newer songs, that would be a good thing to do. And I have a group on Facebook that's like a fan page, like a fan group rather, where I interact with them. So if you'd like to join that, I'm trying to think of, the link is, it's EMMI DRENNAN Street Team is the name of it. But yeah, I interact with my fans most directly on that, probably.
Perfect. Justin, tell everyone how they can reach out to you.
All right. Well, first off, thank you so much, Emmy, for taking the time to do your very first interview, and like it's really exciting first interview. Like, good job. Want to say thank you to Geri as well for allowing me to be a part of her incredible show, co-hosting. Thank you to all the fans out there listening. We love you guys so much. And if you're definitely interested in sharing your story, or you want to get booked or anything, or you just want to talk, just shoot me an email at justdrum1997@gmail.com, or you can shoot me out through Messenger on Facebook, Justin Drummond. That's Drummond. That's Drummond. And I'm really excited. Just can't wait to hear what you have to offer.
So I want to let everyone out there know, please share this video and subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel, please. Thank you for doing that. I want to say thank you, of course, Justin, again, for an incredible guest, and thank you for always being here for me as my guest co-host with your cool guest, man. She's beautiful. Thank you, Justin. You did a great job today. Thank you to you, sweetheart. You are a superstar. You are up and coming, and let me tell you something, Emmy. You just inspired tons and tons and tons of people today with everything that you shared. I didn't expect it to take this turn, and I'm so happy it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a short poem out of my book, because it's only appropriate, and then we're going to have you talk about the final song, and then we'll close with it, okay?
Okay.
So this poem is called Put Down the Gun, because everyone this past year has struggled. A couple of my friends tried to commit suicide. One succeeded, one did not. Many people have passed away this year. And guys, you're not alone. Please put down the gun, okay? You can reach out to me anytime, okay? I'm always there to listen. So you're not alone. I had to have this purple gun just in case my life was done. I kept it safe, locked in my room, because I was filled with gloom and doom. Yes, there were times that I just knew if I loaded it up what I could do. But I kept on hearing that gentle voice, put down that gun. You have that choice. Life may seem hard at the end of the day. That's when you need to really pray. Dear Father, I beg you to show me the truth. How can life be so bad when I'm only a youth? Get rid of that gun and go take a shower. Ask someone for help. You do have that power. I just felt compelled to share that with everyone today. So the last track that we'll be playing, tell us the title and tell us about it, and I'm going to have Ruben close out with it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That honestly gave me chills. That was just so well said. agree with everything. My last song is called Escape, and it's kind of like life is hard, as we've talked about today. But the idea of just sometimes you do just want to escape, and that can be anything. It could just be escaping into a book or a TV show or music or whatever. So this song is almost like a dream, kind of like a wishful kind of, I just want to escape, and that's really the gist of the whole song.
Well, you know what? I think I need to say something else then, because everyone needs to escape at times. Okay. Yeah. The healthiest minded people need to escape, right? I mean, so
Right.
if you're human, you need to escape. What I want to say is escape through healthy things, escape through music, escape through reading, poetry, escape through healthy things. We all have options and we all have choices. So that is my, if I can contribute anything right now, that's what I'm contributing. Escape is necessary at times for all of us. Please escape through healthy things. You have that choice. Okay? So once again, everyone, I'd like to ask you to please click and share. I'd like you to subscribe to the Geri Petito YouTube channel. I want to thank Ruben backstage at Hamilton Radio for all the hard work he's done today. And Ruben, why don't you close us out with her last track?
Sometimes my world comes crashing down. I need to turn this life around. Sometimes it seems like I might drown. I need to swim to higher ground. I lie alone in my bed, lost inside my head. It seems I'm hanging by a thread. I need to clear a path ahead, but when I don't know where to go, I just want to escape, get away from it all. Just want some relief for every time I fall. Just want to be free, get out of this place. Just want some room to breathe in my own space. 'Cause I need a rest from this craziness, so I can find my way back home. Sometimes I feel like I'm a mess, caught in my distress. Sometimes I get so depressed. I keep failing to pass the test. I lie all day in my bed, trapped inside my head. My hope is hanging by a thread. My passion's almost dead, so I need some time to run away. I just want to escape, get away from it all. Just want some relief for every time I fall. Just want to be free, get out of this place. Just want some room to breathe in my own space. 'Cause I need a rest from this craziness, so I can find my way back home. There are days I just want to let go of everything, to forget about my worries and want to escape, get away from it all. Just want some relief for every time I fall. Just want to be free, get out of this place. Just want some room to breathe in my own space. 'Cause I need a rest from this craziness, so I can find my way back home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass.